For more on this, we now talk to Basic Education Department spokesperson Elijiah Mhlanga, and he joins us via our video link. Elijah, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition on SABC News. I mean, we've seen reports saying that over 3,000 of your schools have reported unusual behavior. Perhaps let's start off there. What is unusual behavior taking place in our schools?
Well, Mbali, good evening. Thank you so much for having us. Well, it manifests in different ways. We have seen videos of learners who are falling down inside classrooms. It seems like they're being attacked by something. In other schools, we see them shouting and screaming, saying that they're seeing things. And we also see them in other schools, in other places, displaying harmful behavior, which means they are harming themselves and doing all sorts of things that cannot be explained. And it shows that even the communities where this is happening, they too don't understand what is happening, because some choose to call pastors while others are calling on traditional healers to come intervene and assist. So it is those types of things that are taking place that we are thinking that we need to try and understand, because it seems we don't know what's happening, but also our schools, our teachers are not trained to deal or handle these types of occurrences.
And this survey you have commissioned as the Department of Education, what exactly will be probed here, and on what level will this investigation take place?
Well, it will go to schools, it will go to those communities where these incidents have been reported. The questionnaire is detailed. It asks you who you are, who you come from, which school you attend, and if you witnessed these occurrences, or if you were affected yourself, how did you feel, and where do you think it's coming from, and what do you think should be done, what's your understanding of it. So all those types of questions are going to be posed to those that are going to be a part of the survey. It is important that we ask as many questions as possible so that we can get some understanding and common answers in some instances, we hope, which will begin to give us a sense of what it is that's really taking place, because we don't know what's going on and we're not the only ones. That's why we've brought in the intervention of experts from the universities to try do the work in a structured way, so that we're able to gather information in a way that will help us to analyze that which has been obtained, so that we're able to use the information for drawing up either guidelines or policy on how to handle these types of things.
And who will form part of this survey and conducting this investigation? I mean, you speak of these experts who will form part of the survey, and those at the university level. Just give us a bit of insight there in terms of who will actually be conducting the survey.
Yeah, we have the University of Pretoria and the University of Johannesburg. There are people that come from the departments that handle and focus on these matters. So we are hoping that they will use their expertise and their academic knowledge to use the research tools that they have developed, those that we have seen. They met a week ago to go over the questionnaires again, preparing for schools to open, so that they can approach the learners and approach the members of the community in those areas, but also approach our teachers who are in school where these things are happening, so that we're able to get to the bottom of these occurrences for greater understanding and insight, so that we're able to work together to understand. So it will be involved, and we also hope that some people will come through voluntarily to give us information that will help us as a department.
And Elijah, seeing this report today, and you're saying that you've received reports from over 3,000 schools across the country. At the same time, what are the common problems you are seeing? I know that earlier you detailed to us the issues around some learners falling and some screaming, but what are the commonalities you are seeing in these schools reporting these unusual behaviors they are seeing?
Well, is the impact of it, disruption to learning. So we are not able to proceed with the business of education. You can't teach people who are not stable, who are not in a good shape. Where these occurrences have been reported, the learners will be taken to hospital for examination, which means time away from school, and will be given a few days to recover. And then they come back. And at that time, in other schools, schoolwork is continuing, and they are left behind, and they have to come up with a plan to catch up. That's where we begin to have problems. That's where the scheduling of education gets impacted upon negatively. That's why we are worried. So we need to find a way to say, okay, if we understand what it is, this is how we need to deal with it, then it will be better, because we'll then factor that in terms of the training that our teachers are getting, but also providing a set of common guidelines on what to do when they see these things. But first and foremost, we need to understand the beast we're dealing with.
What has been the response from parents of these learners? I mean, just seeing that clip from our colleague where one parent was even saying that there are evil spirits and we should pray for our children more when they go to school. What has been their response in this regard?
No, most of the people that we've interacted with regarding this matter since it was announced, they've welcomed it, because no one has come forward to say, I understand what is happening. No one knows what's happening. So everyone is looking forward to the report. And just on the issue of prayer, I heard somebody on the clip saying that we have removed prayer from school. We have not done so. We see pastors daily going to schools to help schools with a prayer before the lessons can start. We see some teachers opening a scripture at the beginning of each school day to start the school day in that particular manner. And there's no one stopping them from doing that, because they've got a right to do that. So it was not removed. All that was said was that because we're a constitutional democracy, every person has a right to exercise their right to choice, including religion. So we're saying, if you are going to do this, don't force people who don't want to be part of what you're doing to come and join you. Allow them the space to go and do other things that they want to do. But it is not to say that prayer has been removed from schools. And it's a common statement that people make when we deal with complex matters like this one, that we have removed prayer from school. It has not been removed. We are seeing it happening in all sorts of schools, rural, township, and urban. It's just a matter of the SGB and the school principal taking a decision that in this particular school, prayer will take place. No one will stop you from being there. Just make sure that it does not infringe on the rights of other learners or on the rights of other staff members, even if it's educators or anybody else for that matter, who finds themselves within the school premises at that time.
And once the survey has been concluded or completed, how soon will you be implementing or the recommendations or the interventions, the report would be calling for?
Well, they have 6 months to do the work, so we need to give them space to do that work. And then they will give the minister a preliminary report, or finalize the report thereafter, and then we'll go through the recommendations as a sector and then see how we proceed. This one is not one of those straightforward curriculum matters where we can tell you what we are going to do. This one is a complex one. It might need further consultation after the report has come through, so that we together process the outcomes of the report, agree on a set of recommendations that the research team would have put together. So this one really needs thorough consultation, because it's a matter for the society, it's a matter for each community to reflect upon once the report is out. So we expect a series of engagements once the report is out.
All right, then, Elijiah, thank you so much for your time. That is Elijiah Mhlanga. He is the spokesperson for the Department of Basic Education, just telling us there about, when it comes to this survey that will be conducted by the Department of Basic Education to find out the reasons behind unusual behavior they are seeing.